You have to go back to 1982 to find the last Auburn Nebraska football game. The Tigers hope to erase their 0-3 overall mark against the Huskers in this year's Cotton Bowl. Can the improving Huskers take another step back toward national prominence, or will the Tigers rebound from last year's disappointing bowl loss?
You know, this is not one where they can stay out on New Year's Eve until 2 or 3 in the morning, like I think some of them may have done last year. And, you know, as far as the game itself, you know, I think the key for Auburn is now that offensive thing with Brandon Cox and you know, Kenny Irons, having those two, you know, studs, those two guys that depend on to have good games. You know, they've been up and down all year. You know, Brandon Cox has had some good moments, but boy, he had some bad moments, especially in that Georgia game. And Kenny Irons, you know, he just hasn't had, other than the Washington State game and a few here and there, he just hasn't had that one big, you know, just put him on your back, whether it's 200 yards or 2 or 3 touchdown type of games. And you know, I'm sure he'd like to go out as a senior with that type of performance against Nebraska.
You know, I think the biggest key for Nebraska on offense is that they just need to establish a ground game, and that's somewhat in question going into this game. Brandon Jackson broke his hand in the Big 12 championship game. He had the cast taken off this week. Dallas, I think he'll start the game. Cody Glenn, more than likely, he won't play. If he does play, it will be a limited role. Cody Glenn hurt his foot in the A&M game way back in November and hasn't really practiced. And he's tried to go out here in Dallas, but he won't go. But I really think Brandon Jackson and Marlon Lucky will be the two key guys that will need to run the ball for Nebraska. I think Nebraska up front has a size advantage over Auburn's defense. They need to just go straight at them downhill, and that will be the key offensively. Then they can put Zach Taylor in a lot of good passing situations where he won't be in some 3rd and longs like he was in the Big 12 championship game.
You know, on defense, I think Auburn has got to keep Nebraska getting the big play. You know, they can throw the ball really well, and you know, Auburn's giving up some big plays with that, you know, that tight press man they try to play sometimes. So, you know, that's a big issue for them. If Nebraska's going to score points, you know, Auburn needs to make them work for it and drive that field. You know, hopefully hold them to a field goal, force some turnovers here and there, and you know, make this a full-quarter game.
You know, defensively, you know, Kenny Irons for Auburn is going to be back in this game, and they say he's 100%. And when Kenny Irons is playing good, that's when Auburn was playing their best football of the season early on. And for Nebraska, they need to shut Kenny Irons down and contain him and limit his big runs, because he's a big part of their offense. He takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback in the pocket, who doesn't have a lot of mobility. So if they can just contain Kenny Irons, you know, and put Brandon Cox, their quarterback, in some tough situations, that will be a key. And, you know, really, I think Nebraska's had a lot of success stopping the big-time backs. When you look at Michael Hart and Adrian Peterson, Oklahoma's backs in the Big 12 championship, stopping the run, the physical up-front style like Auburn runs with, has been a strength of Nebraska. So if they can stop Kenny Irons, that will be a huge key for them to have success in this game on Monday.